What up, what up, what up, what up, good people? It is your favorite Monday night sports talk show, and that is Dr. Oui E Talk Sports right here on Facebook Live. And we're also on YouTube Live, so check us out on either one of those platforms. We're here to make you smarter about sports, and we got a big show for you tonight. And the football guys blessed us with it, so we are excited to talk about it. We got college football upsets getting turned upside down. The question is, what would have happened? What would have been the implications if we still had the 4-team playoff with all these upsets? That would have been bigger. But now that we got 12, the schools that lost have a better shot. Also, we got pros. We're getting to that point. We're getting to that third pole of the NFL season. The bad teams are starting to figure out how bad they are. Cleveland, Carolina, I'm looking at you. The bad teams are figuring out they're bad, and the good teams are still trying to figure it out. The teams that we expect to be good, Kansas City hasn't shown me anything. Let's see what they do tonight. They haven't done anything really well. San Francisco is struggling. We got a lot. We're going to talk about all that and more. We're going to make you smarter, so when you're talking to your friends and your coworkers, you could drop a nugget that you heard from Dr. Oui E. So, look, as the cornerbacks do, put the seatbelt on, okay? Buckle in, because we got a big show. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got any questions about your team or anything like that, drop that in the comments. We will get the answers. We'll give you the answers, our opinion, but we'll give you the answers to what you're talking about with all we got going on. And, yeah, we're going to talk about them Cowboys. So if you're a Cowboys fan, we'll talk about y'all a little bit. Y'all pulled one out. Okay, it is. I see you. All right. What up, Doc?
What's going on? Let's not talk about the Cowboys.
They drive ratings. Okay, so here we go. No, so, all right. Last week we didn't touch on our last show. We didn't touch on college football too much. So let's start with college football. Upset City.
Well, can we talk about, since we missed last Monday?
Okay.
Bama beating Georgia.
All right. So Bama had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in back-to-back weeks. So let's talk about the highest of highs. Georgia, number 2 at that time. Was Georgia number 2?
Georgia? Well, yeah, they were number 2. They were number 2, and Bama was 4.
That was a 2 versus 4 matchup early in the season. SEC rivals.
Supposed to be the game of the year.
And next thing you know, it's 28-0, and I'm heading home because I was at a sports bar, and I'm like, why am I spending money?
You think it was going to be a blowout? Did you really think that Georgia wasn't going to come back? I mean,
yes, I did. I did, because I don't trust Georgia's quarterback that much.
I don't either. He got rattled, I think, and then I think he eventually calmed down. Halftime, I don't know. He eventually calmed down because he got rattled. He was the first quarter and the second. He was just, I'm like, what is up with this kid?
And as evidenced by this past weekend, Alabama's defense is not that good.
No.
So
it's not. It's not like it has been in the past.
So if you're supposed to be an all-elite quarterback, if you're supposed to be potentially the number 1 draft pick, you should be able to beat a bad defense. I don't care if they're at home.
You should. The turnovers, the pick 6. I mean, if you turn on the ball too many times, you can't come back from that. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I think so. Alabama had this great high. Jalen Milroe had established himself as the top Heisman.
The freshman, what was the freshman name? He's 17 years old, the wide receiver.
Ryan Williams. That kid is phenomenal. I'm sad for him. He's got to play college football for 2 more years.
And the defensive player who caught the interception, Brown. His last name was Brown. I was like, he caught that ball. You know, defensive players usually can't catch balls. He caught that ball.
I mean, they did everything that they were supposed to do against Georgia, except
they let them come back.
And so that was the challenge. And Georgia got on the roll, but I don't believe in Georgia. After watching that game, after watching the Kentucky game,
I don't believe in the quarterback.
And I watched this game, and then I even watched this past weekend when they beat who they had? Oh, Auburn. There's nothing special about this Georgia team.
No, nothing special about any team though this year. To me, it's like more parity in college football than it's ever been. And maybe it's good for the college playoff or whatever. I'm biased because I'm a fan of like one of the top teams. So, but it seems like it's more parity in college football.
There's two teams right now that are still considered special, and that's Texas and Ohio State. Those two teams.
I don't think they're that special though.
I think those two teams, Texas and Ohio State, are better than the teams we just saw this past weekend.
Maybe, but like how much better though? Like, are they here and Bama and Georgia here, or is it like?
I don't know. Well, from what I saw from Bama against Vanderbilt.
Well, see, let's go back to the Georgia game.
Okay, the Bama team that played Georgia, they're not that much. They're on plane. The Bama team that played Vanderbilt, they might be not head and shoulders, but head from the nose up better than Alabama, Texas, and Ohio State.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's like like last year. What it was Georgia, and then it was everybody else basically. Maybe Bama, but Bama always beat them just because Saban.
They own them. It's like they got voodoo in them or something. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem. It seems it's just a name because this year wasn't even Saban. It was somebody else, and they still. And you can see that coach. He got his team ready to play against Georgia, but they laid a stinker against Vanderbilt.
I think if Saban was the coach, they would have won.
And that's coaching, and that's what I kept saying that whole game. I'm watching.
You got to get your team ready for. You can't, because Saban never took for granted any opponent, and I think they took for granted Vanderbilt.
Oh, I take what was funny is that my son and I were watching it, and I said, when I was coaching, I would say, "What do we do to bums?" He said, "We beat bums," and that's how I would tell all the kids I was coaching. You don't let bums hang around. You beat them. You because they expecting to lose, so you snatch the life out of them quick.
Yeah, they expect to lose, so they be like whatever.
Yeah, let them pack it up and go home, and let their fans go home and go to Broadway Street early in Nashville. But you gave them hype. They didn't know what to do when they stormed the field. They didn't know what to do. It took them a minute to figure out how to tear the goalpost down. They didn't run straight to the goalpost. They were hanging out in the middle of the field, just looking around like, "What do we do? We never been there."
Wow.
1984 was the last time Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Yeah. 1984.
I mean, you wonder who the coach. Who was the
coach?
So, Bear Bryant. Who was the coach in 1984?
I don't even know. I don't think Bear Bryant was the coach, but he may have still been alive. So I just don't. That was ugly. That was ugly. But they weren't the only one. Tennessee gave it up against Arkansas. Okay, and had a 14-3 lead, and then just let Arkansas come back and put it on them. Missouri let Texas A&M beat the draws off of them. I mean, so it was just
that kind of day.
It was that kind of day, and Georgia, even though they beat Auburn pretty soundly, it was unimpressive. The game was still in balance in the third quarter, and then Auburn doesn't know how to win, and they don't have enough horses to run with Georgia. So eventually, Georgia's talent, took over, but Auburn was running the ball early against them. The kid from right here in Atlanta, from Woodward Academy, my son went to school with him. I think his number one in Auburn's backfield was killing them. He was giving it to them. But like I said, they don't have enough bodies to bring in. And the quarterback is okay. He's not great. And so they eventually couldn't fool Georgia. They had too much talent, but I wasn't impressed. I'm still not impressed with Georgia. I think they'll make the playoff just on reputation and the fact that they'll win, most of the rest of their games. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're a first round exit in the playoffs.
First round?
First round, yeah. They're gonna have to win the SEC to get that bye. Because if they play a team that's coming in that's like a a mid-major champion, they're gonna come in with a chip on their shoulder, and they're gonna have something to prove. And Georgia's gonna might overlook them. And Kirby he's better than Kalen DeBoer apparently. He'll get them ready to play, but they don't do anything. Like I said, they don't have any special players. And I need somebody that can, like Brock Bowers. Nobody could cover Brock Bowers. He was uncovered. You know, that defensive line. When that defensive line wanted to play, they would set up camp in your backfield. You couldn't do anything. They would suffocate you. Now it's like you can run on them. Now the quarterback, he can be, if you press him, you know, it's like they're beatable, very beatable. So, you know, I'd have my team.
First round exit. I don't think they're going to make first round exit. I don't know. This new playoff game is kind of intriguing. Because, like, if Bama would have lost in the old system, they would be most likely finished. But now I'm like, they still make the playoffs, most likely. But just so it's like you can lose the game,
but then I mean, I know this new committee is not going to want to show a lot of bias. So maximum, I'm thinking 4 SEC teams maximum. You got it. The champion's going to get there, and then if you've got a couple of one loss, like if Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama all have one loss, then those 3 probably would end up making it. But if you put a second loss up,
yeah.
So now Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia all have one loss. Of those 3, Georgia has the best loss because they lost Alabama.
Yeah.
Because
Alabama beat Georgia. Kind of like last year. Bama beat Georgia.
Alabama's got the best win of those.
Yeah, Bama beat Georgia like last year.
But don't they play Tennessee next week?
Bama?
Yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, it is. Their schedule gets hard. I think so when I looked at the schedule.
Yeah, I think they play Tennessee. And so both of them coming in with
one loss.
And having come off of being upset by an inferior opponent.
So they both will have a chip on their shoulder. So it should be a good game.
So it should be a good game. But Tennessee's got a great quarterback that might give Alabama's defense fits. Well, and Vanderbilt gave them the formula on how to beat them. That quarterback, Diego. I like Diego. Little Diego, little dude.
We'll see. We're not gonna be Saturday cycling. We'll see. My money's on Bama.
Diego had me laughing. He was funny. I liked him though. He had a lot of moxie. You know, he's one of those guys that like, he's not gonna sniff the pros, but he's got this forever. He gonna tell his story about that.
He gonna be famous in Vanderbilt, Nashville.
Oh man, he's famous in Nashville. He's never gonna buy another drink if he drinks. He's never gonna buy another drink. He's never gonna have to fight for a girlfriend. He's gonna be the King Diego. And then when he's a grandfather, he's gonna be telling his grandkids about that time he beat the number 1 team.
Bama.
At least he gonna have video. Like back in the day, they didn't have video.
They had stories. Yeah, they had stories. Like my mom used to tell a whole bunch of stories. Yes, all they had was stories.
Now the kids could be like, "Oh, I'm going to Grandpa's house. He's gonna pull out that Alabama tape again." Watch it. So, but I do think that I still think Texas and Ohio State. I think those are the 2 best teams in the country. USC got proved to be a fraud because they let Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, beat them. So they're done. They just suffered their second loss. Notre Dame lost to an inferior opponent earlier this year.
Yeah, they did. And FSU is done.
And FSU been done. It's a disgrace. It's from 13-0 to 0. That's just bad. That's just a bad football team. And he's going to have some answers. They're going to let him stay because they don't want to fire another coach and have to continue to pay him. So he's going to stay around, but he's got to figure that out quickly because it's bad there in Tallahassee. It's bad. The Rattlers won. We won again. So
we did. Yeah,
we ruined Alabama State
homecoming, but they should have known not to have a schedule for homecoming.
That was disrespectful.
But I think Greg had something to do with that.
They should have got beat down.
I think Greg had something to do with it.
Oh, Greg Abbott.
Greg Clark,
Greg Clark. That's right.
not president.
Yeah, that was
He's does something for
He shouldn't have done that. That was disrespectful.
Well, they made money. Maybe they was just trying to, I don't know how.
Maybe I mean they got probably a larger showing that come into the city.
Yeah.
For that game, even though they may not have gone into the game, but they were there.
He made a lot of money.
Yeah, so it's smart. You schedule a good opponent, but I'm old school. I play somebody I can beat.
It's homecoming usually. You want to win homecoming. Yeah. You do want to win the game,
Yeah, I didn't think I was smart, but it was good. So look, we got ours coming up in a couple of weeks, so got to keep winning. We're 3-2, and it looks bad, but the 2 losses were against non-SWAC opponents. So
Miami and Troy,
and we should have beat Troy. We had a shot to beat Troy. So we got Jackson State coming up.
We need to beat them just because my family talks trash.
We got to beat them to show that beating them last year was not a fluke, and we got to maintain our swag. We got to. Everything's in front of us.
We got to be Southern.
Got to be Southern.
What?
In that homecoming? In Southern homecoming?
No. We play Southern in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. All right. I know
my goddaughter goes to school there, so that's why I remember that again. My brother, she goes to Southern.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be college football is going to be interesting. I think the upsets just made it more interesting.
You think so?
Yeah. Now you're going to get some more.
Maybe I'm upset because I'm a Bama fan, and they were just really just talking bad about Bama today.
Oh yeah. Bama fans got to run from the radio, but I will say this: that Alabama-Tennessee game just went to another notch. It just went to another level.
It's gonna be a good game, though. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, this went to another level.
Like the Alabama-Georgia game was good. This was might be even better.
Yeah.
Be better if the Alabama wins, though.
I like the quarterback of Tennessee better than I like the quarterback of Georgia.
Oh, yeah, the quarterback of Georgia, I was just like, what is he doing?
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of, and he looks like him too? Brock Osweiler. Remember him? Brock Osweiler? Yeah. Played for Denver, tall, can make all the throws, but just nothing special about him. That's how the Georgia quarterback reminds me of. Brock Osweiler. And if you look at a picture of Brock, they look similar too. It's the same.
I gotta check
tall, thin, just I don't. But switching to the pros, these rookie quarterbacks, all of them won this week.
Bo, Caleb, Daniels.
Those are the three. Those are the three that are playing.
Well, Tennessee didn't have a bye.
Tennessee had a bye, but they're not playing a rookie. That dude came out last year.
Oh yeah, I'm putting him as a rookie.
The other rookie is Drake May in New England, but he's not playing.
But,
And then
your guy
Penix, and he's not playing. So, but all the rookies won, and Caleb is looking good these past 3
years. But they played the Panthers. My friends were like, "Oh, y'all talking about Caleb and Justin?" I'm like, "You're playing the Panthers, so you have to weigh it." And then they pulled Andy out and put Bryce in. And did you hear the explanation?
I did. That was so disrespectful.
And I was like, really?
I would not have been mad if somebody came flying into that camera shot and just like the old courtroom videos where they dive over to try to get at the judge. If somebody would have come diving over that table like Bryce Daddy and choke that coach out, because why you put my son in harm's way because you had injuries on your offensive line? The reason why he don't have the confidence now is because the offensive line was doo-doo.
Then he had nobody to throw to.
And you gonna put him behind backups? Bruh. That was, and then to say it out loud.
I know.
Oh, he does not like Bryce. Bryce needs to get the hell up out of there.
He really does. He need to go somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere. Just somewhere.
He needs to go somewhere with a creative offensive coach that can use a guy like, and I'm sad I'm saying this, Kyle Shanahan could do something with Bryce. Because Bryce is smart. He throws the ball on time. He's going to run the play. So he's a more athletic version of Brock Purdy.
Oh, you got Brock Purdy looking good.
Purdy's pretty athletic, But I think like a Kyle Shanahan, what's your boy at the Rams, Sean McVay, those coaches like that could do something. The coach in Minnesota could do something with him. You need a good creative offensive coach. I think Mike McDaniels could do something with him down in Miami because he looks like
he's good. He's good.
He looks like a Tua. He's accurate. He throws the ball. He doesn't have an arm. He can't throw it through a car wash, but he can damn sure hit his back foot and get the ball out on time. And that's he can't go to a defensive coach where you're just gonna throw him out there and let him do what he.
No, unless he has a good OC. Because look at Texas. I mean, they got a good OC. So.
Yeah, they do. And Bobby Slowick, and he's not gonna be that long.
Yeah, can he come be our head coach?
He might. Y'all look. The only thing that's saving your coach job right now is a bye week. That's y'all business.
I don't think they go. I don't recall them ever firing a coach in the middle of the season. They should have fired him last season.
The Eagles brass.
They'll fire people, but they usually fire in the middle of the season. Though they usually wait to the end. So.
Well, you got an OC that everybody has been saying could be a head coach anyway. So he's somebody that could step in allegedly. And
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it
as an audition
because I think Sirianni is calling plays and I'm like, it's a reason why they stop you calling plays. Basically, when Jalen started playing well,
I think
started calling all the plays. He stopped and he started playing better.
And I think there's a fight between the OC and the head coach.
No, and it's bad because I know they over the whole thing in Buffalo. Like, why did the head coach call them throwing plays that lost them the game? I'm just like, why wasn't the OC calling the plays at the end of the game? I'm like, why are you going three passes? I'm just that whole. I mean, they gave them the game. I thought
as a bandwagon Texas fan. I want to thank him for calling them terrible ass plays.
That was awful.
And I want to thank Josh. I want to thank Josh for executing them terribly.
But don't even blame that on Josh. I'm like, why did he call those plays?
The coach that throw the passes in the dirt. The coach
I get it, but but I'm like, why you call 3 passing plays though?
You should not have done that. They had no timeouts.
I mean, it didn't make no sense.
And you got James Cook. Let James Cook.
Oh, James Cook is a beast. I mean, at least call one running play. And then I'm like, make the punter look all bad. I mean,
bruh, Buffalo. They got this. Well, they got exposed by the Ravens. And
they could have won that. I mean, they could have won that game. It was close. They could have won that game.
I want them to win that game.
I mean, I didn't. I like both. I like Josh, but I like CJ. So I was like, I wanted to be a good game. But they could. I mean, they could have won.
It was a good game. It was sloppy. Second half was sloppy. The first half was bad for Buffalo. They only scored 3 points. The second half, when the receiver went out for the Texans. The top receiver.
Yeah.
They kind of got derailed. They couldn't call as many plays. Everything wasn't working, but they found a way to win. And that's what I'm saying. And they were talking about this on the shows this morning. The difference between good coaching and bad coaching is what happened in that game. That is glaring.
It's true.
3 pass plays. Don't have to let the other team make the other team call a timeout. Bad punt. They come down. Score. The quarterback was smart.
I mean, they made it easy for him. I'm like, yeah. I know, because you can't outplay bad coaching. That's why. And they be like, Josh was supposed to be Superman again. He doesn't do well when he's true. They make him try to be a Superman.
That's when he turns the ball over.
Yeah.
The 3 games he played well this year, he didn't have to be Superman. And guess what?
They ran the ball.
They're running the ball. He was throwing it to different receivers. Everything was looking good. Then the defensive coach, he starts calling plays. Josh is Superman. Let him go out there. No, that's not the way it works.
Not the way. No one wins playing Superman.
You see how Caleb has started playing better? What? They gave him a running game. They start running the ball more. Now he can run play action. He's seeing the field. The game is slowed down. Caleb's looking better. Jalen Daniels was all he came in ready to go. He was like
Oh, yeah, man,
he was the easiest way to go.
they made the offense like that he was used to is somewhat similar to what he played in college, and then he's played like the most games out of all the well, maybe Bo Nix because he's old.
Bo Nix played more, but Bo Nix played like 61 starts in college, and but Jaden had 45, so he played a lot of games. He played a lot of games. So Jaden, they already called him. They were saying his tight end said he's Andrew Luck.
Hey, I'm happy for him, even though he's in our division, but I'm happy for him.
They're 4-1, and it looks like the Commanders have taken, no pun intended, command of the NFC.
Oh yeah, they have. I mean, and then, even though we had a bye, I'm like everybody won. The Giants even won last week. Everybody in our division won.
The Giants ain't gonna be no easy win. I'm trying to tell you, they got your boy under control. Daniel Jones, they got him under control. They can't beat a drum with a stick, but they'll make it interesting. What up, D? What up, Daryl?
Yeah, that surprised me when they won yesterday, though. That surprised me. I was like, okay.
Seattle, but you got like a lot of its matchups and what the team has gone through. Seattle had crisscrossed the country like back and forth. That team was tired. You could tell. They had that dogfight with Detroit, and they were spent. They were spent, and they got caught by the wrong team at the wrong time. And yes, they're professionals, but
you know, any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
I didn't think San Francisco would lose yesterday.
And Kyler Murray put on a show.
He did.
Okay. Kyler Murray good for about
in the defense too.
Kyler Murray good for like 12 to 14 games, and then that little body runs out.
I like their coach because I think I knew they were good when they beat us last year. That was the beginning of the end when we got beat by the Cardinals. When we got beat by the Cardinals, that was the beginning of the end.
Okay, look, my Jaguars won yesterday. You know what?
That game was really good and close.
It was.
I thought the Colts were gonna come back. Flacco was playing.
Look, I bet you they want Flacco in Cleveland.
I bet they do. Flacco is clutch.
The only thing clutch about your boy in Cleveland is his girlfriend's purse. That's the only thing clutch.
I feel bad. I'm like, well,
he is so bad. Deshaun Watson, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe all them lawsuits got in his head.
Maybe.
He is bad.
Maybe he just got hit too many times.
When the fan base is calling for Jameis Winston.
I know, but they're not gonna bench him because they owe him too much money. But the Browns screw regardless.
There's a out in Cleveland. He said they wanted him.
The Browns are screwed regardless because all that guaranteed money.
Yeah, they said he still owed like $150 million. The dead money, if they cut him, would be like $170+ million.
That's true.
You can't cut him. They don't want to leave him on because he's going to get paid if he's on the roster. So I would not go. I'm not going to pay
that kind of money. The team because the defense is good.
Yeah, and so now you're looking at. They said it after next year if they cut him. Yeah, because if Flacco was still there, that's right. That's a good point there. If Flacco was still there, they would have had the fans would have been chanting.
Oh yeah, because Flacco.
They was calling for James.
That game was good too. That playoff game was good between
Flacco
and the Browns.
The fan base would have been in there. Flacco. They would have been chanting that from the first.
People want Jameis slide. Jameis just turned the ball over here.
He can make the throws at least.
Yeah, I know. He just might throw to the other team a couple times. But
I mean, Deshaun's not even seeing the plays. What is he looking at? Is he watching the same game? I'm like,
and he's been sacked. But is it the most times or the second most times?
His passer rating, they were saying it this morning. His passer rating was 8.
And they said that wasn't the worst passer rating he's had this season.
That wasn't even the worst he's had this season.
Yeah.
But it's 8 out of 100. You got an 8.
That's bad.
And you saw the coach when he walked out. Yeah, that's a good point. When he walked off the field and the coach wanted to go for it on 4th down, and you saw he was walking on the field just slowly, and the coach takes the headphone, and he was looking like, and then Stefanski has to stand up there on that microphone.
He can't do nothing because it's over his head.
Because the dumb owners, he should have brought in the dude from the hotel and said, "This is my surrogate for my coach's speech, and it's above me now." That's all he's gonna say. Every question.
He's a good coach.
It's above me now.
He's a good coach.
He's a great coach. He won Coach of the Year twice. That's not a bad coach.
I mean, they won with Flacco, which they got off the couch last year.
Flacco came off that couch and took him into the playoffs, and showed well in the playoffs. He just
and then he won the comeback player of the year.
Yes, come on now. Indianapolis is like, okay, well, we got Flacco.
What's up with
Richardson? Rush back, Richardson.
What's up with Richardson? Why he can't?
He's fragile.
Hurt.
He's fragile. He's a bad combination. He's got a fragile body and a mind that says I can do it. Right, because he knows what he can do physically. Like he knows. You saw that throw he made, the 70-yard. That was ridiculous. Like
he made. What about him? Is he gonna make it? And he gonna be hurt?
I think he's gonna have one of those tragic careers that he's gonna be one of those. If only he got an if only career. If only he could have stayed healthy. We never really got the chance to see him. You know, if only he could have did this. And I was like, bruh. Yeah, Richardson is an athletic freak, but he just can't stay healthy. I don't think he's going to stay healthy. The league is too physical, and he hasn't learned how to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Like he's not. I'm glad Caleb's trying to figure it out because, like, bruh, you're not that big.
He's not, and I've seen him land on that ground many times.
Look,
there's some big men.
You see, Jalen.
Joshua, he got hit the last with his head. I know he got it. I was like, he threw that out of there. I'm like,
everybody saw that tape, so they're gonna have to respond. I think the league gonna send him a letter because they're talking about it was his ankle, and that was that same bullshit that they did with Tua last year, talking about it was his ankle. Everybody saw his head hit the ground. Now he didn't wobble like Tua.
No,
but he looked visibly confused.
He did because he had to lay there for a minute.
He lay down. I'm like, well, you gotta lay down. I'm talking about it was my ankle. Nah, bro. That bell was ringing. The way his helmet bounced off that turf. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was not. They're gonna have to address it. He's gonna have to address it, and he's probably gonna play this week.
Oh, he gonna play. He gonna play this week. He gonna play. But you see, he only missed one little one play, and he popped out of that blue tent.
And that's the whole dramatics with Aaron Rodgers when they twisted his leg and he was out, he was yelling and all this other stuff, and then he goes to the sideline, and then he goes right back in the game. I'm like, bruh, come on. Miss me with the dramatics. I'm glad they lost. I don't like.
You don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I do not like Aaron Rodgers. That's my bias. I do not like Aaron Rodgers. I don't have any. I respect him. So there's, I know in today's political climate, if you don't like somebody, you got to hate on him. I don't hate on Aaron Rodgers.
You're not a fan of Aaron.
I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan. I think
I like Aaron. Well, I did. He's kind of irrelevant right now. Honest, the Jets are irrelevant, even though
they are, and
they probably will make the click. I mean, because Miami's bad, even though they got to win. They're bad because Tua's gone. The Patriots are bad. They were booing the fans were booing the Patriots at the game the other day.
Well, they knew what it was. The Jets defense held Minnesota without scoring an offensive touchdown. Their touchdown came off a pick six on Aaron Rodgers. The Jets defense did their job yesterday. Aaron Rodgers had three picks.
Yeah.
So when Sauce Gardner said what he had to say, he walked the back.
He's talking about the offensive coordinator / Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Well, combination.
Personal assistant. Aaron Rodgers personal assistant.
He wants to do that. Oh, he don't want to add any emotion and.
He's playing old school football. We run and beat the man in front of you and all this other stuff. And he calls checks and things like that. Nah, bro, the game was not played like that anymore. And that's why I think like Deshaun Watson was out for a year and a half, and the game passed him in that year and a half. That's how quickly this game moves. And you got to be adapted. You got to be in it constantly, or it's going to pass you by.
I agree.
Flacco has figured it out, and he was on his couch and figured it out.
See, Flacco, I think he's good just because he gets that ball out quick.
Yeah, he got an arm.
And then he's accurate. So it's like,
yeah, Flacco's got an arm. Flacco's making me come around. I love the fact that when he won the Super Bowl, he bet on himself. Now he screwed the pooch after he got that big contract. He was garbage after he got that. That's why he's out the league. They're like, we paid him all that money. He was that garbage. So, but he came back, and
I mean, Flacco. I mean, like,
woo.
He's like, y'all ain't gonna get me. I'm about to get rid of this ball.
And that's what offensive coordinators want, a guy that's gonna run their offense, and Flacco's gonna run it. Deshaun can't see it, and so he can't run the offense. Kevin Stefanski is a great coach. And remember when they had Kareem Hunt and Chubb in the backfield? Oh my God!
I know.
If they had Baker Mayfield today, back then, that team would have been goddamn good.
Because Baker actually, we had Baker looking like, I was sitting there at that game. I was like, we got Baker looking like Tampa Tom today. I'm like, what is going on? I was like, okay, Baker.
When I went to, I ain't gonna lie, when I went to the game here in Atlanta, I was like, and I told my wife, I said, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I said, when I saw what Baker went to Detroit and put on Detroit, and the way he's been playing, this might get ugly real quick because we ain't got no pass rush, and he gonna have all day to throw. And they were running and throwing on us. That's why his passing yards weren't that great. But he was throwing.
They were great when we played them.
But I tell you, the one thing that I did notice, and that's why you got to watch the whole games, is I kept saying to the people sitting around me, I said, have y'all noticed they've only scored 6 points in the second half? We made some adjustments in halftime on defense that slowed them down. And so we would get a turnover, or, it was like little things that we would do, make them kick a field goal. So they scored like 24 points in the first half, 6 in the second half. And that was the difference in the game. And then those last three drives, 2 by us and 1 by them, flipped the game that way. So it's really, you got to play the full amount of time of the game. And I said, if we win this coin toss, and I said, if we win this coin toss, we're going to win this game. Baker Mayfield not going to touch his field again. And sure enough, Kirk Cousins happened. I'm not buying his jersey, but I'm a fan.
I like Kurt. I wouldn't buy a jersey, but I like Kurt, though.
I like it. And he can do it. If he keeps winning games, he can do the busted swag surf all he wants to. I have no problem with it. Go give me a busted swag surf, Kurt. Go get you.
I like Kurt. Kurt.
He could be going the opposite way.
Like a corny, simple dude, I like him. His wife buys his Target clothes. I mean, he's just a simple, normal guy. I like him. Although he's loaded.
Did you ever used to watch The Simpsons? Remember Ned that used to live next door to the Simpsons? He was a little nerdy dude. That's what Kirk Cousins reminded me. Without the mustache, he reminded me of Ned. Just a little nerdy dude, But Kirk Cousins, he's regular season Kirk. That's what we got.
He's doing what y'all basically got paid him to do so far.
Yeah.
And if y'all keep winning, y'all, y'all division is not. Who knows?
Our division is.
I don't know.
It's in flux. Carolina's garbage, so not worry about that.
Oh yeah.
But between
Saints, Baker, I think y'all will win. Well, it's early. Anything can happen toward the end.
Remember, we talked about this last show. I said the bad teams don't know they're bad.
And then injuries. You can't account for injuries.
The Saints look like world beaters for 2 weeks.
And then until our defense stopped them.
Our defense put hands on them, and then they came here and they lost that close game against the Falcons. We're gonna see how they look. We're gonna see how they look tonight against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs haven't looked great, even though the
Chiefs have not looked good. But they have the mystique now. They've got the dynasty mystique, which says they're gonna figure out a way. And other teams come in shook. They come in already, shook because it's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and celebrities on that side. Eddie Reed.
He hadn't looked great either.
They get shook. I'm like, bro, So the Chiefs' mystique is going to win them some games until they can get another receiver option with Rashee Rice on IR. So, it'll be interesting. They should make a play for your boy in Vegas.
He gonna be with his boy, Aaron Rodgers, or he going to
The
the
Saints.
Saints and be with his boy Carr. That's what I think. That's the two teams they mentioned early too.
Yeah, yeah. He said he wanted to play with. He said he wanted to play with a quarterback that he had played with before because that way it's easier for him to assimilate into a new offense. And that's New Orleans and the Jets. And so when you say that, that lowers the price for the Raiders because if you know it's only if there's two teams just bidding, they can be like, well, he wants to come here. Why would I give you more?
That's true. I
Now,
think he'd be better off in New Orleans, but
as a Falcons fan, I don't want him anywhere near New Orleans.
I mean, I'm just out of the two teams. Rodgers, and how long is Rodgers gonna play?
It looked like this might be his last year. If he played by the offensive line, they can't
So
keep
like,
him
how
up.
long is he gonna play? So I'm
He
thinking,
took some shots on Sunday. I'm
yeah,
like, ooh, you look too old to be taking them kind of hits.
that's how he tore his Achilles.
Right. I was
Like,
like, bruh, you a bud.
I think the Saints will be better. I know you, but I think the Saints would be a better fit for him out of these two teams.
They are.
Although I think what would be the best place for him though overall? Probably the Chiefs because he wants the ring.
The Chiefs would be the Chiefs would be the best place for him because he could walk in. Andy will come up with plays for him.
Yeah.
And he's going to draw coverage. And then he gets to beat the Raiders twice a year. So that's a win-win-win right there. And he's got a shot at winning a ring, which was what he wants to do. Because I watched the Receiver series on Netflix. He wants to win a ring. He's talking about building a legacy, establishing a legacy. He goes to the Chiefs. His numbers are going to go up because they don't have anybody to throw to now besides Kelsey and the little dude from Texas, the little rookie dude. So he can step right in, be the number one option. Andy Reid's going to draw up some plays for him. He's going to get a lot of looks. Patrick is going to get him the ball. The Chiefs is where he should go.
Yeah.
Now with the Raiders, if I'm the Raiders, I'm not trading him to the Chiefs.
Yeah, because it's in their division.
Chief rocks. I'm not trading him in division. But they got a owner that has a bowl haircut, so you never know who's doing it.
Oh, you talking about the Raiders?
Yeah, he looks like a kid that he looks like he got special needs.
You wrong. Yeah.
I'm right.
I know you're wrong though. So I don't know that, but I think he's gonna wind up in New Orleans, or with Aaron, his boy.
Well, the Jets. If I'm the Jets, if I'm Robert Saleh, I'm banging the table to get him Devontae Adams to him. Because here's the thing: the way this season looks and the way they've looked in these first few games, they're not going to the playoffs.
I don't think so either. But if they're going to I don't think they're going to be that much better though. I mean, they're going to be better, but I don't think they're going to be that much better.
You got to get Aaron Rodgers comfortable. You bring in Devontae because Lazard is a secondary receiver, and he's still trying to figure it out with Garrett Wilson. He targeted him 20-something times this game, which is ridiculous. But his passer rating is better when he's spreading it around than when he's trying to over target Garrett Wilson. I think he's trying to make a point because Garrett made those comments this past week. So he was trying to make a point, and he made his point. But you bring in Devontae, now I don't have to worry about Garrett Wilson. I've got a better receiver. Everybody knows that Devontae.
That's true, but I still don't think they're going to be that much better.
No, they won't because the offensive line is still going to be bad. And you still got a bad offensive coordinator that won't call running plays.
No,
when you got two good backs in the backfield.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna be that much better. So that's why if I was him, I wouldn't go there.
So, but he probably will because they've been talking about it ever since they split up. They've been talking about it. They've been talking about getting back together. And I think it's one of those things like you break up with somebody and y'all think, oh, it was better when we were together. It was so much better when we were together. And y'all get back together. You realize, oh, this is why we broke up.
That's what's gonna happen. It's a reason you broke up in the first place. Time to move on.
Move on. I do think that they're. Minnesota got exposed a little bit. I think Sam Darnold came back down to earth. Maybe it's just a Jets defense. It's just that good. But
the Jets defense is good. But they still are undefeated. And who would have thought at the beginning of the season?
Nobody. Nobody, especially when the rookie got hurt.
I know.
Everybody's like, "Oh, they
Darnold's not
done."
even supposed to be playing.
They're like, he's done. They got Darnold, and Darnold went in here and lit it up. That says that coach just
The
got him.
coach and their defense is good.
He just got him a new contract, and then and the defensive.
And they got a good running game.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator just might get another head coaching gig because of the way that defense is playing. So it's all good in Minnesota. I still think that Detroit is the better team in that division.
I think so too. But I like out of Minnesota and Green Bay, who's gonna have a better record at the end of the season?
Minnesota. They started off better. They're what, 5-0, 4-0, 5-0?
5-0, yeah. This week.
They're 5-0, and Green Bay just got back to what, 3-2?
Yeah, because Jordan's just back.
Yeah, so they've got a
and that game was close.
2-game head start, and Jordan is still getting.
Yeah, he threw some.
Yeah, that pick six was bad, but his third quarter was phenomenal. Like the third quarter, they were like, after he threw that pick six, he rolled off like 9 for 9 with 2 touchdowns. Like he went on a tear, and that's why they gave him the money, because like he has those moments.
He has the highs, but he has the lows.
Woo, the low is low. I'm like, bruh. I mean, that was bad. I understood what he was trying to do, but take the grounding and get the 2 points, right? Or take the safety. Like, but don't throw it. I mean,
yeah, that was bad.
At least, yeah. At least throw it high and far enough to where
he just gave him some points.
Come on, bro.
You're like, he just gave him 7 points.
that bomb that he threw earlier was phenomenal in the triple coverage, and he dropped it in the bucket. So he's going to take some risks. They're like, he's got a little Brett Favre in him. He's going to take some risk, but when he's on one and he's feeling it, oh, he's hard. He's phenomenal. Like converting a 3rd and 12 with his legs. Like he's really good. We're talking about Jordan Love. If you're just joining us, he's really, really good. But he's got those low moments, and I can't in the playoffs. You can't have those low moments. I need somebody. So I think Minnesota will probably win the division, and then
I think they will make the playoffs.
That team, that division might get 3 teams in the playoffs between Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota. I would not be surprised if those 3 teams make the playoffs, and then just a division winners from the other.
Yeah, because the show won't be 2 out of our division. Who knows?
No. The Steelers gave the Cowboys that game. I mean, just gave it to them.
Because they turned the ball over 3 times.
Turned the ball over 3 times.
But see,
you had their 2 best defensive
offense, and I don't even blame that on Justin Fields. I don't even blame it all on Justin Fields, because I'm like, the play calling, they not run down. They couldn't run the ball because I know they stopped the run, but it's just, I don't know. It's not all Justin's fault.
It wasn't Justin's fault. But the problem is this. You have a team that's bringing in backups on their defensive line, a team that has shown that they can't stop the run, and you can't run on them. That's on your offensive line. That's on them, because Justin works better off of play action. But when you hand the ball off and you get 1 yard, he gets stopped in the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Now they know you're throwing. So they dropped back in the coverage, and it's like it made it harder on Justin, and he still made plays, but it like he had no running game to support him in that game, and you can't run on backups. That's a preseason game, and then one of the backups got hurt, so his backup had to come in. I'm like, come on, man, you can't. What? He should have been feasting on that defensive line. Justin should have had 17 pass attempts. Then we got a steady diet of Najee Harris and whoever the other kid is. We should have been running down their throat, taking the air out the game, win that game, 17-13. Good night, Cowboys, tuck them in the bed. But you let Dak get a game-winning drive, and you took the lead, but then your defense, your vaunted defense, couldn't stop a nosebleed. And then you get the fumble, and nobody's there to jump on the ball except for that. I'm like, bruh.
I know, that game pissed me off.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. And now they're talking about bringing back Russell Wilson because they lost 2 in a row. See how things change so quickly? They lose 2 in a row.
See, Justin, even though they lost to the Colts, I thought he looked good that game too.
He did, but look, they're about results. So all of a sudden, Russell, I guarantee you, all of a sudden, Russell's calf will start feeling better.
Well, I think so, but I don't know. Who do they play next?
The winners. If you put Russell Wilson,
no, who do they? Who does Steelers play next?
It don't matter unless as long as it's not Carolina or Cleveland, the winners.
Who do they play next? Though I know we play them, but that's
I would look it up.
In December, we played them in December.
I would look it up. Right, give me a second here.
Because we played the NFC North this year.
Pittsburgh Steelers schedule. October 13th, they play the Raiders.
They should, but who knows?
They got winnable games. They got the next 2 games. The next 3 games are winnable games.
Who they play? The Raiders?
The Raiders on the 13th. They got the Jets on the 20th. And then they got the Giants on the 28th. Those next 3 games are winnable games. If they can win those, they'll go to 6-2. And then they got the Commanders and the Ravens, which they ain't gonna win neither one of them games.
Well, sometimes they play the Ravens hard and win.
They're not beating the Ravens.
They beat them last year.
They're not beating the Ravens.
They did beat them. They at least beat them once last year. I think they split.
And then they got the Browns, so that should be a win.
And then we play them. I don't know what today. We play them in December. I don't know the date.
Oh yeah, they got 2 more against the Browns coming up, and the Browns have already quit on this season.
Pretty much.
They got the Bengals. The Bengals are.
I don't know about the Bengals. I mean,
they got the Bengals.
They should have won that game yesterday. The kicker.
That was a great game. It wasn't the kicker's fault.
It was the holder, but still.
Yeah.
I mean,
they should have won the game.
They should have won it. If it wasn't for the.
But that team, I can see the cracks when they interview.
They find ways to lose games. They find ways to lose games.
They're interviewing these guys after the game, and they expressing their frustration. I can feel it. I was like, if they fuck around and lose another game they're supposed to win, that team's gonna it's gonna crumble. They're on thin ice right now. They're holding together. They believe that they're better than they are.
And I think Joe has been played well, but he turned the ball over.
Joe had his best game. He had that one turnover late, and that was the bad one. That was a bad turnover. But that's the one that got.
But if they would have made that field goal,
if they hit that field goal, we have a different conversation. We said Joe Flacco played his best game of his career. He threw for 5 touchdowns, 400 plus yards. He had 1 pick. Just Jamar Chase had a career game. I mean, they everything looked good. And then, but they always say it's just a couple of plays here and there. The interception allowed the Ravens to tie the game up. The kicker, the holder drops it, and then the kicker misses it. He's a reliable kicker.
Hard the ball back, and Derrick Henry ran it.
And then Derrick Henry put him on that track.
Okay, he was well worth that trade.
Woo! Boy, when he got on that, we just knew he was going to score too.
I thought he was too. I was like, dog.
And I was watching it with my son. I said, as soon as they tackled him, I said, kick the field goal.
Don't even try.
Don't play around.
What's the point?
Nah. And you're in overtime, and when I was telling him, I was like, you got to think about a lot of things. It's part of the reason why you do that is because they've played a whole game on their bodies, a hard-fought game, division rival, hard-fought game. You don't need any more plays, any extra plays on your players' bodies.
And you don't want to turn the ball over.
And you don't want to turn the ball over.
He run and make a touchdown.
Yeah, you don't need any risk.
And
just to go out there. Let's end it. Y'all go get the ice tub.
Like what San Francisco, the kicker got hurt. I was like, Lord.
That's what is this with these kickers getting hurt?
Like, it's a special team. The punter kicked one of the field goal. It was a chip shot.
But how was the kicker getting hurt? What are they doing? He not hitting nobody.
He got hit though, because he got hit. It's special teams play. I don't know how he got hit, but he got hit.
But
his knee hyper flex, and hopefully, I don't know what's up with his knee. Hopefully, he don't have nothing.
Maybe it was Lando, or maybe he got bumped, and I don't know. But it's kickers getting hurt. I just
The Giants kicker got hurt. They didn't have a kicker one game.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the game that they lost to the Commanders. They should have won that game, but the kicker got hurt, so they couldn't go for. They couldn't kick the extra points, so they ended up
going for two,
and they missed them. So they lost. You know, it was bad, and Brian Daboll was pissed off because that was a division game, and now you see the way the Commanders are playing. You ain't gonna get that another chance. Cause that boy playing with confidence right now. He throwing darts. He dropping it in the bucket from 50 yards out. Oh, it's ugly. It's ugly. They making what's the coordinator name?
What's his name? That was the coach for
Arizona
Cardinals.
They making him look like he can coach. I'm like, what?
He's always been good with quarterbacks, though.
Yeah,
he's a great head coach.
He's fantastic. He needs to stay right there. Get that check. So the Commanders are looking good.
They are.
NFC South, we'll go through it as we're wrapping up here. NFC South is looking like a toss-up between the Saints, the Bucs, and the Falcons. Right now, the Falcons are in the catbird seat, 2-0 in the division. We've got 2 division wins.
Yeah. So and who's behind? Is it Tampa or New Orleans?
I think New Orleans has lost 2 in a row, so I think it's Tampa that might be.
Okay. Tampa lost to Denver. Is that it?
I think that's it.
And you?
I think they got 2 losses. So we're all 3-2, but we're in front because we got 2 division wins. I think that San Francisco is keeping Arizona's an interesting team because they're that team that they're not really, really good, but
they
you don't go in there ready to play, you'll get Vanderbilt. I'm using it as a verb now. You'll get Vanderbilted.
That's true though, because I mean, Kyler's good. Their defense is pretty good.
Yeah. You will get Vanderbilt if you play Arizona.
Don't sleep on them. That's all.
Yeah. So and Seattle is that
Seattle is
in flux.
Iffy.
Because the 49ers have lost 2 games that they shouldn't have lost. They had double-digit leads in both those games. They lost them. So they're keeping everybody alive. The Rams
are injured.
But they still will put hands on you. They were giving Green Bay all they wanted yesterday. All they wanted. I watched that. I was like, damn. Stafford is still slinging that ball, and he doesn't even have his weapons.
He don't have Puka, and he don't have
But the little running back is playing. His running is behind off, and that offensive line, the makeshift offensive line is they play. They trying to get the check. That's what I. And that team has had injuries on their offensive line too, and they're playing well. Somebody needs to tell the Jets offensive line that's how you're supposed to.
But the Jets offensive line hadn't been good in
a long time. But they brought in the dude from Dallas. They brought in a couple of guys.
What's up with Reddick? What is he gonna do? He just chilling.
We'll take it right here in Atlanta.
No, we need him back in Philly.
No.
We need a pass rusher.
Right, we need a pass rusher. What?
We need him back in Philly.
So bad. The Falcons pass rush is so bad.
We need him back in Philly.
It's not existent.
Is not consistent.
It's so bad. It's non-existent. That's how bad it is. It's non-existent. So
we need him back in Philly too.
Let's see. And then you've got the NFC North, which is I think you got 3 teams.
I think Detroit's gonna win that.
3 teams in
play. Or Minnesota.
Detroit, Minnesota, and then Green Bay is going to be they're going to
be in the mix somewhere
in the wild card. On the AFC side, the AFC East is Miami's done without Tua.
It's going to still be the Bills.
The Bills, we know New England is garbage, and then the Jets look bad.
It'll be New England. New England going to win.
And the Jets and Buffalo play Monday Night Football next week, so we'll find out.
Will that be any good, or will it be a blowout?
And that will be, and the winner of that game is going to be tops of the division. So
I'm thinking it's going to be the Bills. I think they're going to get their act together.
And then you got, I don't know what's going on.
Hopefully, although they beat them that time, like when Avery got that first game last year when Avery got hurt.
The Jets won that game. They rallied and won that game behind Zach Wilson. Let's see, AFC South, I don't know what's going on in the South because Tennessee is in flux because that quarterback is bad. You've got Indianapolis with the injury to their main quarterback for Flacco.
Flacco's playing well. They almost beat the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
The Jaguars have won one game, and they
One
almost
game.
lost that game.
They don't even look good. So right now, it's just the Texans could walk through that division easily and get into the playoffs. So that's easy. You got the Steelers. Cincinnati's lost 4 games now.
They won one game, right?
Yeah, they're 1-4. So they're struggling. Steelers have come back down to earth. The Ravens
are what?
3-2 now.
3-2.
And so, because they lost to the Raiders and they lost to the Chiefs.
They should have won that game.
But they won. They beat Buffalo, which is a big game, and they beat
the Steelers. I mean, they beat the
Cowboys, and they just beat the Bengals. So they've got a division win now, and then you got Cleveland is easy win. So now everybody worry about Cleveland. AFC West, the Chiefs undefeated. I mean, they don't look good, but they're undefeated. So as Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says.
I know. I want them to lose the game. I was cheering. Who was they playing last week? Was the Rams? I was hoping that the Chargers. I can't remember. I wanted them to lose.
It was the Chargers, and the Chargers.
It was close.
All of their games have been 1-score games. They have not blown anybody out. They've all been 1 score. And they had to come back on a couple of them. So the Chiefs are not jumping off the page. I mean, they've got some injuries, but everybody's got. I mean, not everybody's got injuries.
Everybody got injuries,
but most people got injuries. So that's not an excuse in my book. At the professional level, it's not an excuse. Next man up, suck it up. Everybody's playing hurt, so it is what it is. Get it over. But I think the Chiefs and then the rest of the Chargers, Justin Herbert's injuries is driving them down. The Raiders are terrible. They don't have a quarterback.
We need a quarterback, yeah.
And then who else is in that division?
You took 49ers.
Denver. And Denver is still
up and down because they got the ring.
We're figuring out the rookie quarterback situation. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. Like I said, I think we know who the really bad teams are: Carolina and Cleveland, and we're gonna figure out some other really bad. We're
gonna figure out if the Cincinnati are going to be bad or they're going to be mediocre.
Yeah. We're going to figure out if San Francisco suffers from the Super Bowl hangover that most teams do.
Well, I think if they get their people back, but it might be too late, though.
It might be too late. And I heard my man Colin say on the radio today, he said they are Christian McCaffrey dependent.
He's still in Germany. He was in Germany for his Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what's up Debo.
Debo has got a hamstring or thigh.
Wow.
And Brandon Ayuk is still getting back into shape because he missed all those practices.
He looked better yesterday, but
some holdouts. And you're realizing the limitations of your quarterback without having all those weapons around him.
Yeah, I mean,
he played well.
He did, but they needed to win.
He needs to be able to make plays, and he can't make plays. He can run plays, but he can't make plays. And that's why I say Jaden Daniels can make plays. Lamar Jackson make plays. Play when he drops the ball and stiff arms the defensive lineman and then throws a touchdown. Brock Purdy ain't doing that.
No, and like last year when he threw the ball and caught it, that was like doing the playoff.
Yeah. You gotta and you don't want your quarterback making plays all the time. That's why Josh Allen gets in trouble because he's Superman all the time. But I need, like when Patrick Mahomes in the playoff game, I think it was against y'all when he breaks off that long 30-yard something run. You just need him to make that play once in a game, once or twice in a game. Pull a play out, make a play. Jalen Hurts, could you do that until your coach started fucking up?
See, I don't even know what's wrong with my team other than the coach. I'm just like,
it's the coach. I
don't even know how it can be fixed because I'm like, I don't think we're gonna look. The bye ain't gonna help.
No, it's not.
But it depends on who we play. But even when the games we won, they look bad.
Your coach is undermining his own team because he's still pouting about not being able to call plays.
And then the injuries, but I mean, AJ, please come back. He's been gone all season.
AJ, Devontae, you need
Devontae should be back.
Yeah, he just had a
concussion. Him and Lane Johnson should be back too. Yeah.
You need Lane Johnson. You need everybody, but you also need to call the right plays at the right time.
Oh, I agree because Jalen is trying to be Superman. He can't be Superman.
He's not Superman.
He can't be Superman. That's when he mess up. So I mean, it just
and call some RPOs. Let the man run. Let him call some RPOs.
He actually has been like their first game. The first game with the Packers. He ran a lot actually. So did Saquon too.
And they won, right?
Yeah, we won. But it didn't look great though. No game has looked good. Probably in 2 seasons. But even last year we were winning, it just wasn't looking good though.
No, yeah. And Shannon Sharp was saying the all season when they was winning, y'all got the 10-1. He's like, I don't trust it. He said, don't trust it. He said, he's like, what I'm seeing is not right. And everybody's like, oh, they 10-1. What you talking about? And the wheels fell off. And he said, I tried to tell you. He said it didn't look right. And he's got to cut down on the turnovers. And
I think because he's trying to play Superman. I think if they let the offensive coordinator do his job, because he wasn't doing that with Shane. I mean, he had maybe 6 turnovers that season, maybe.
Shane is a good coach. What I need for your team is your defensive line can't show up like they did one game and then do a no-show the next game.
I know. I'm like,
you can't have that. That's too
interesting. But it's interesting. But I think this is what Tom Brady said. He's like, Baker Mayfield came out there throwing the ball, and wore them out because it was hot as get up down there. And then when he basically was trying to run, they had no energy to tackle. It's like they wore them out.
Yeah, they're big boys. Now they're some big boys, and they can get worn out. But
I don't know if that's the excuse, but they sure wasn't tackling nothing. And I don't know who Jalen was throwing to. Oh, a couple of them plays. I was just like, where was that going?
If they get Lane Johnson back this weekend, they got to tighten up.
What do we play? I think it's the Browns. I think we played the Browns.
Oh, that's a get-right game. Come on now.
I think we played the Browns. Hello.
And Myles Garrett been hurt all season? That's a get-right game. Saquon should have 200 yards.
Let's see.
He should have 147 on the ground.
Browns, at noon.
Another 53 in screen passes.
Hey, and 2 tugs. Because I'm actually gonna it's at noon. The Browns. We play the Browns.
It should be Saquon all day. He should have 200 yards.
We should. Sirianni ain't gonna do something stupid.
Beat a bad team. That's all I got to say. If you let Cleveland hang around, it's got some bad things.
He gonna do something stupid. The last game we won, Sirianni did a lot of stupid things.
Could I promise you, after the way he looked and the way the media
have they won a game?
No, I'm talking about Deshaun Watson.
Have they won a game?
He might be on suicide watch. Yeah, they won one game. They won one game. And I think that may have been the game he was hurt. Remember the game he got hurt early in the game and the backup quarterback came and finished it? I think that's the game they won. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's the game they won. Deshaun ain't won no game. Cleveland is not a good team.
They beat the Jaguars 18-13.
Oh yeah, that was bad football. 18-13. That's a lot of field goals. I don't know if Cleveland scored a touchdown again. I think they just kicked off field goals. Yeah, I can't.
We should win. What do we do?
No, you got to go out there and put a number up. Like I want you to embarrass this team.
I would be nice, but you know what? I don't trust Sirianni.
34-10.
I don't trust Sirianni.
You saw the way the Commanders did him. Slapped them around the field.
I don't trust Sirianni, and I don't trust our defense to be consistent.
Tapped them on their ass and said, "Thanks for coming out. God bless."
Jalen played like he played against the New Orleans. I want Hassan back. That's where can't he just come back? Why did you pay the man?
We'll take him here in Atlanta all day. What
He's still in there. He's still with the Jets. I don't know what they're doing though.
He said he wants a new contract before he will show up. That's the impasse.
But when they traded him, he knew he wanted the contract. I don't understand what the issue. Why the Jets?
They expected him to come to camp and show up, and then they're going to work through the contract. And he was like, "No,
he want more money. I don't blame him though.
If you want me to show up, give me a contract."
He's been 5 games.
He's about to. I think he's about to lose a year of service. Because if you don't play in a certain number of games, you lose a year of service. So he's dug in that hard. And he's what, 29, 28, 29?
He's close to 30, yeah.
But this is going to be his last big contract. So I understand why he's digging in.
I ain't mad at him. I mean, I think he's good. Sure.
Look, we need him because
he took out Brock Purdy. He took out all the quarterbacks. He took out Brock Purdy in the friggin' NFC Championship game.
Because we traded for Matthew Judon and he's on a milk carton. I can't find him.
Lord.
I can't find him. I had people at the stadium riled up. I said, what? Where's Matthew Judon? All I see is them red sleeves hide behind offensive linemen. That's what I see him. He got the best seat in the house. He watching the game from the field level.
Well,
but
we need a pass rush other than Carter. He's not consistent.
You got 2 of them. You got the Twin Towers. You got the before and before shot right next to each other. Okay. They just gotta. I think what's the bigger one? Is it Jalen? It's not Jalen Carter's the better one.
Jalen Carter, Georgia guy.
They're both your defensive guys.
Like the
smaller of the two. But the big one, the one that's pushing 4 bills, he runs out of gas real quick.
Yeah.
He's got to lose some weight.
He had the year before. Jalen was the last draft.
Yeah,
he dropped because he was in trouble.
Yeah, he's got to lose some weight because he can't sustain.
Probably that heat in Tampa.
He can't, and so he can't sustain a consistent pass rush, and that's what you need. And he's big, but he's like when he's tired.
Like Baker Mayfield gets that ball out, so you got to be fast. He get that ball out fast.
Yeah, but when they're on, oh my gosh, they're unstoppable. But it is what it is. But y'all, that's it for this week. We're gonna catch y'all in 2 more weeks. We're gonna really see, because by then we're 5 games and we'll be 7 games into the season. We'll really see what's going on. We'll see if there's any more upsets in college football. I'm telling you.
We'll see if Bama beats.
If Bama beats Tennessee, are we gonna be singing Rocky Top, or we're gonna be singing the blues in Alabama Blues? Are Texas and Ohio State gonna start feeling good because they're undefeated and sitting in the catbird seat? Will they start smelling themselves, as my mom would say? There's a lot of questions that's gonna happen. It's gonna be answered in the next couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be on the road a lot, traveling these next couple of weeks. Work, and then homecoming. Between work and homecoming, I'm
we'll say it's just a whole month. It's really not, because it's October the 8th.
Yeah. I got what? I'll be in Denver next week. The weekend after that, I'm supposed to be going to.
You traveling much as me? I'll be in Atlanta next weekend, and then I'm going to the Giants-Eagles game.
I'm supposed to be going to DC.
Hopefully Saquon will show out when he goes back to New York.
Oh, you got to. That's another game. Like, they got 2 games that Saquon should show out: Cleveland and the Giants. And then he should give it to Dallas too, because they can't stop the run. He should show out in all 3 of those games. It should be a Saquon featured game. But I don't know what Nick Sirianni is trying to do. The head coaches should stay out of the coordinator's rooms. Let them. You're a manager. You're not a coordinator anymore. Get out of the room. Stop trying to dictate the offensive game plan. It's not good. Andy Reid does that because Andy Reid is the offensive coordinator.
I mean, Andy Reid is the offensive master.
Yeah. You ain't Andy Reid, player. Far from it. So, all right, y'all. I got to go feed myself and my son. I forgot the wife had a work dinner tonight. So I got
All
that.
right, Ellis. Well, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. I'll